Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss something very exciting and fun, and you might hear pitter-patters of puppies in the background. So if they get a little rowdy, I'm sorry. But today we're talking about something super exciting, my anticipated releases for the second half of 2022. I do recognize that it is like mid-July, so some of these books will already be out. And I apologize, but I'm still excited for them nonetheless. Also, if my babble is incoherent, it is so freaking hot today that my brain is not working at full capacity. But let's just jump into it. Let's talk about the two books that came out in June that I wanted to talk about, that I was highly anticipating. They are out now, but no, I haven't read them yet. So, the first one on the list is going to be Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. I mean, the cover alone is stunning, truly very exciting just from the cover. Like, this just gives me the vibes. This is a fantasy horror retelling. Ooh, and it's gothic. I'm into that. This is a retelling of the Juniper tree, set in another time and place within the world of The Wolf and the Woodsman, which is her other novel, I believe. I am interested in that one as well, but I've heard more mixed reviews on it, so I'm not like jumping for it. Where a young witch seeks to discover her identity and escape the domain of her wizard father, perfect for fans of Shirley Jackson and Catherine M. Valente. I've never heard of Catherine M. Valente, but I do know Shirley Jackson. We All Live in the Castle and The Haunting of Hill House, so well known. I am excited. A gruesome curse, a city in upheaval, a monster with unquenchable appetites. Into it. The other book that I was so stoked for June, that I saw it on Jan's video when she did her monthly anticipated releases, and this cover, had no clue what it was about, didn't care what it was about. Stunning. This is a young adult fantasy mystery. In this medieval YA thriller, an orphan with secrets, magical sight, gets caught between a mysterious genius and the serial killer he's hunting. I have to admit, many books that have piqued my interest, and I guess I'll promo this and mention it here now. If you want to know what other books are coming out this year, I do have an entire Goodreads shelf. There are way too many books on it, but it is every book that's coming out in 2022 that I'm interested in, even just like a little bit. So that will be linked down below for you guys if you want to check it out, find more goodies out there. But this one, along with many, many others, kind of falls into the mystery category, and I didn't want to talk about a lot of mysteries because I don't think I like that genre. But for whatever reason, I see a mystery book and I go, that sounds so good. I want to read that. And then I read it and then I'm just like frustrated and annoyed that the main character is like doing police work. And I'm like, this isn't your job. You literally don't have to endanger yourself like this. Like, it could all be avoidable. So, I don't know what to make with that, but on to the next. So now we're going into July releases. The first one we're talking about literally comes out today. And that's going to be The Daughter of Dr. Moreau by Sylvia Morano Garcia. She is the author of Mexican Gothic and Gods of Jade and Shadows or something. I just got that book, haven't read it yet, clearly. This is obviously a reimagining of The Islands of Dr. Moreau, a classic. But this one has a more historical take, maybe a little bit sci-fi like the classic, but I think from what I've heard review-wise, it's more historical fantasy, a bit lighter in that aspect, but it's got the backdrop of 19th century Mexico. I have not had the time or the honor to read The Island of Dr. Moreau, although I do have it sitting on my classic shelf, so it's definitely something I hope to get to. Maybe whenever I pick this up, I can kind of pair them together, see with the source material, and then how the reimagining goes. Who knows? This next one, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's just more of the hype of it that's got me intrigued. because I barely know what this is about. It is a historical fantasy. It's Babel by R.F. Kuang. This is the author of the Poppy Wars trilogy, which I have never read. Do I have the desire? Absolutely. It's been on my wish list forever. I just don't have the time to tackle the series, so I just have been putting it off and avoiding it. But everybody has been obsessing over this book on BookTube, and I'm just like, clearly I'm missing something. Like, clearly this is something that I should be reading. I believe it's dark academia? A thematic response to the dark history and a tonal response to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell grapples with student revelations, colonial resistance, and the use of translation as a tool of empire. It's kind of all I want to know. I don't want to know too many details of this one. I do feel like it's going to have a lot of serious conversations, but still be interesting. It is a beast of a book. Let's see what the page count is. 560 pages. If you know me and my reading taste, I typically read like around the 300 to 400 mark. She's a bit chunky for what she is, and I'm just worried that this might be slow and drawn out and not very exciting and fast-paced, but everyone seems to be excited, so the hype has already gotten to me. We will see. I just realized that I haven't been announcing the dates. Alright, this next book I'm potentially most excited for. I've never read from this author before. I know nothing about them. And it's Lightlark by Alex Astor. This is a young adult fantasy romance. Welcome to the Centennial. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears to host the Centennial, a deadly game that only the rulers of 6 realms are invited to play. The invitation is a summons, a call to embrace victory and ruin, baubles, and blood. The Centennial offers the 6 rulers one final chance to break their curses that have plagued their realms for centuries. Each ruler has something to hide. Each realm's curse is uniquely wicked. To destroy the curses, one ruler must die. Isla Crown is the young ruler of Wildling, a realm of temptresses cursed to kill anyone they fall in love with. They are feared and despised and are counting on Isla to find their suffering to end their suffering by succeeding at the Centennial. To survive, Isla must lie, cheat, and betray, even as love complicates everything. I'm into it. I'm so fucking into it. Yes, please. I'm so into this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Cover's great. I love everything about it. It's great. It's happening. I'm so excited. The next book I have actually pre-ordered. The next 2 books we're going to talk about, I have put in my pre-orders. So excited for them. One of them, the one I'm going to talk about right now, I have actually pre-ordered. I participated in the pre-order campaign, so I'm getting a special edition. I'm getting some special goodies sent to me, and I'm also getting a personalized message in it. I'm not sharing it with you until it arrives, but I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be Wild as the Witch by Rachel Griffin. I loved Nature as the Witch. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was great. I love the Pacific Northwest witch vibes, all about nature and just like into it. As you might know, I live in Oregon in the Pacific Northwest. Nature is everywhere. It's just the vibes, and I'm here for it. When 18-year-old witch Iris, I hate that name. It's so hard for me to say. Iris Gray accidentally enacts a curse that could have dire consequences. I can't talk. She must team up with a boy who hates witches to make sure her magic isn't unleashed on the world. So this one kind of has similar vibes to Nature as the Witch. Nature as the Witch, we're following our main character who is completely against being a witch and has plans to get her magic taken away. Whereas this story, it's going to be the opposite. She wants to keep her magic and doesn't use it as often, but keeps it. And the boy that she's romantically involved with, I am assuming, is going to hate her because she has magic, but doesn't know. I am excited. I love the cover. I'm just It's an author I know, which is rare for me because I haven't read any of these authors before. I just pick things based off their cover and if they sound good. The next one that I pre-ordered is another author I haven't read, but I pre-ordered because I needed it, and it's Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Adeline Grace has written all the Stars and Teeth duology. I haven't read it yet. It's on my TBR. I'm hoping to get to it soon, but I am excited for this one. This is Belladonna. Yeah, I pre-ordered it. It's a fantasy romance with a mystery element. I don't know what's going on. I think mystery is like on the up right now, genre-wise, which is great for mystery readers. Hopefully I can get into some. This would be nice. This is described as a highly romantic, gothic-infused world of wealth, desire, and betrayal. Orphaned as a baby, 19-year-old Signa has been raised by a string of guardians, each more interested in her wealth than her well-being, and each has met an untimely end. Her remaining relatives are the exclusive Hawthorns, an eccentric family living at the Thorn Grove, an estate both glittering and gloomy. Oh. Its patriarch mourns his late wife through wild parties, while his son grapples for control of the family's waning reputation, and his daughter suffers from a mysterious illness. But when their mother's restless spirit appears claiming she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family she depends on could be in grave danger and enlists the help of a surly stable boy to hunt down the killer. However, Signa's best chance at uncovering the murder is an alliance with Death himself, a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side. Though he's made her life a living hell, Death shows Signa that their growing connection may be more powerful, more irresistible than she'd ever dared to imagine. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so glad I pre-ordered. The pre-order, so pretty. Like the hardback for Nature's the Witch and Belladonna, so pretty. I'm so happy. I'm trying not to pre-order too many books because they get a little expensive sometimes, but you throw in a campaign where you're offering extra goodies and I'm invested. I can't not be. The next book that I'm going to talk about comes out September 6th. There we go. And it's titled Monsters Born and Made by Tavani Burwa. She grew up battling the monsters that live in the Black Seas, and it couldn't prepare her to face the cunning cruelty of the ruling elite. Perfect for fans of the Hunger Games and these violent delights, this South Asian-inspired fantasy is a gripping debut about the power of the elite, the price of glory, and one girl's chance to change it all. This is one of the stories that I'm interested in. I think it's a standalone, and I just love a fantasy standalone. But I don't know, it's not like a 5-star prediction anticipated release. I'm just very intrigued. I'm hoping to hear some more reviews. It's got a 3.96 on Goodreads right now, and I feel like that's pretty good. This next one, you guys, September 27th, House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson is coming out. Look at this cover. Have I read A Discovery of Witches? No, we don't need to talk about it. It's on my list. I have to buy it. But this one, this is a horror, fantasy, gothic, vampiric, adult. Oh my god, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. Wanted. Blood made of exceptional taste, must have keen proclivity for life's finer pleasures. Girls of weak will not apply. A young woman is drawn into the upper echelons of a society where blood is power. In this dark, enthralling gothic novel from the author of The Year of a Witching. That's what I meant to say. I totally said Discover Witchings, and that's not right. Marion Shaw has been raised in the slums, where want and deprivation is all she knows. Despite longing to leave the city and its miseries, she has no real hope to escape until the day she spots a particular listing in the newspaper seeking a blood maid. Though she knows little about the far north, where wealthy nobles live in luxury and drink the blood of those in their service, Marion applies to the position. In a matter of days, she finds herself the newest bloodmaid at the notorious House of Hunger. There, Marion is swept into the world of a dark debauchery, and the center of it all is her. Countess Lisavet, who presides over his hedonistic court, is loved and feared in equal measure. She takes a special interest in Marion. Lisavet is magnetic, and Marion is eager to please. And Marion, words are starting to not sound like words anymore. And Marion is eager to please her new mistress. But when her fellow bloodmaids begin to go missing in the night, Marion is thrust into a vicious game of cat and mouse. She'll need to learn the rules of her new home and fast, or its halls will soon become her grave. I'm just so excited. I'm so freaking excited. This next one comes out September 13th. We're going a little bit back in time, sorry. And it is Thistlefoot, written by Jenna Rose Nethercott. A moment for this cover. This is a fantasy retelling. In the tradition of modern fairy tales like American Gods and Spinning Silver comes a sweeping epic rich in Eastern European folklore, a debut novel about an ancestral hauntings that stalk us in the uncanny power of story. I don't want to read the synopsis. I do not want to know anything more. I just love this cover. This next book is on my anticipated releases. I don't have a good reason. On September 27th, Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong is coming out. No, I haven't read her duology. Am I interested in her next duology? Yeah. I've heard great things. I hear that she is a fantastic writer. She's so young. Like, she's got the talent, and I'm so glad. Do I want to read her Romeo and Juliet retelling? Yes. Do I want to read this new series? Yeah, sure. Is it anticipated? I don't know. I don't know if this author is just really hyped and if she will live up to my hype or what, but I am still intrigued. I'm ready to see the reviews come in. This is the first book in the captivating new duology following an ill-matched pair of spies posing as a married couple to investigate a series of brutal murders in 1930s Shanghai. So again, it's kind of a little, historical fantasy. I haven't really been reading those. There's a mystery element. I'm not sure. So I'm excited to see what other people think. This next one, though, I'm so excited about. September 6th, The Sunbearer Trials by Aiden Thomas is coming out. I'm so excited. Why? Because I love Aiden Thomas. I've read Cemetery Boys and Lost in the Neverwoods. I enjoyed them both. Cemetery Boys was a 5-star read. Lost in the Neverwoods was like a 3.5-ish, maybe? I think I might have rounded up to 4. I don't remember. I read it last year. And this is the newest. I think it's going to be a series, or no, it says duology. It's going to be a duology, and it kind of gives Mexican Percy Jackson vibes, but like bigger, maybe? I don't know. Welcome to the Sunbearer Trials, where teen semidoses compete in a series of challenges with the highest of stakes in this electric new Mexican-inspired fantasy from Aiden Thomas. I'm so excited. Right now they're doing a pre-order campaign where you can pre-order the book, give them proof of receipt, and you will get random trading cards based off the characters, and let me tell you, they look so freaking cool. They look so cool. You can go to his Instagram if you want to see what they look like and potentially pre-order. I'm tempted. I'm very, very tempted. But I think I'm going to restrain myself a little bit because I don't even own his other books yet. So we'll restrain a little bit. The next book I'm going to throw in here very quickly is another pre-order, the last pre-order so far of this year. And it is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the sequel to Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is a kind of spin-off, not really, of the Caraval trilogy. This follows a small character Jack from Caraval and like his romance and his love story and whatever else is going on. I haven't read Once Upon a Broken Heart yet. I'm currently trying to make my way through Caraval because I read it many years ago when it came out and I haven't touched the rest of the series since, and I keep saying every year I'm going to read them and I don't. But I'm hoping, because I pre-ordered this, that it'll kind of like get me into reading the books. We'll see. Who knows? I think it's going to be pretty though. I think it's going to be good. I have high expectations. I'm excited. The next book is interesting. It's called Loot. It's written by Jen Marie Thorne. It is a thriller horror fiction. The cover does not say adult, but it is an adult book from what I'm being told. This comes out October 4th. Wicker Man meets Final Destination in Jennifer Thorne's atmospheric, unsettling folk horror novel about love, duty, and community. Sign me up. Sign me up. On the idyllic island of Loot, every 7th summer, 7 people die. No more, no less. Loot and its inhabitants are blessed year after year with good weather, good health, and good fortune. They live a happy, superior life, untouched by the war that rages all around them, so it's only fair that every 7 years, on the day of the 5th, the island's gift is honored. Nina Treadway is new to the day, a Florida girl by birth. She became a lady through her marriage to Lord Treadway, whose family has long protected the island. Nina's heard about the day, of course, heard about the horrific tragedies, the lives lost, but she doesn't believe in it. All the superstitious nonsense, stories told to keep newcomers at bay and youngsters in line. Then the day begins, and it's a day of nightmares, of grief, of reckoning, and it is also a day of community, of survival and strength, of love in its most pure and untamed. When the day ends, Nina and Loot will never be the same. Absolutely. Oh my god. I don't know. That just sounds so good. I'm into it. Next thing that I'm excited about should be no shock to anybody at all, but the Heartstopper yearbook by Alice Oseman is coming out. They're giving us a full color yearbook with illustrations and some mini comics and so on and so forth. This is coming out October 13th, and I'm just excited. I just love Heartstopper so much, so I needed to talk about it just a little more. The next book is coming out October 18th. I know nothing about what this is. I literally was preparing for this, and then I was like, oh, I put this in my list and I don't remember. I know nothing. But it is titled Night of the Raven, Dawn of the Dove by Radhi Mehrotra. To learn what she can become, she must first discover who she is. Katyani's role of the kingdom of Chandala has always been clear, becoming an advisor and protector of the crown prince Ayan when he ascends to the throne. Bound to the queen of Chandala through a forbidden soul bond that saved her when she was a child, Katyani, I'm so sorry, I'm going to say these names different every time, has grown up in the royal family and became the best guardswoman in Gardua has ever seen. But when a series of assassination attempts threaten the royals, Katyani is shipped off to the Gurukul of the famous Archaya I'm losing it, guys. Mavir, as an escort to Ayan and his cousin Bavir. I'm giving up on names. This is why I don't like reading about fantasy books on internet, because I can't pronounce words to begin with, and then you give me like made up names or cultural names I'm not familiar with, and I just cannot speak anymore, and then I'm embarrassed. To protect them as they hone in skills needed by the next leader of the kingdom. Nothing could annoy Katyana more than being stuck in a monastic school in the middle of the forest, except her run-ins with Dax and Arkiar's son, who can't stop going on about the rules and whose gaze makes her feel like he can see into her soul. When Katyana and the prince are hurriedly summoned back to Chandala Before their training is complete, tragedy strikes and Katiana is torn from the only life she has ever known. Alone and betrayed in the land infested by monsters, Katiana finds her answers from her past to save all she loves and forge her own destiny. Bonds can be broken, but debts must be repaid. That was a chore to get through. So, I like fantasy. I get overwhelmed with a lot of characters with hard names. One thing about The Wrath and the Dawn was there were so many cultural names that I had a difficult time reading, so I had to make nicknames for everybody in my head. But when it came to talking to you guys about the books, I kind of was like, I don't know what to do. That's kind of what this gives me, but I'm here for a training montage. I really loved the book by Ray Carson, Empire of the Dream. So good. That book made me love training montage, political, fantasy types things, and I just haven't had that feeling since. So, fingers crossed this kind of provides that. We'll see. This next book is also coming out October 18th, and it is titled The Whispering Dark, written by Kelly Andrew. The Raven Boy meets Ninth House in this most exciting debut of 2022, a dark, atmospheric fantasy about a deaf college student with a peculiar connection to the afterlife. That's it. That's all I need to know. I'm not going to read anymore. That has so many buzzwords that I'm into it. This next book comes out October 25th, and it is Into the Riverlands by Niveau. This is the third book in the Singing Hills cycle. I think there's a fourth one coming. There might be more after that. I'm not sure. These are very short novella fantasies that are typically queer. We are following our non-binary main character Chi through them, who is a cleric. And clerics have the duty of going around and writing down history to remember it forever. So each book can be read as a standalone because there's no connection between them. It's a very fantastical time, and I do recommend the series, so I'm very excited to continue on with this one. The next book comes out also on October 25th, and it is Joan He's newest book, Strike the Zither. Now, I didn't love Descendant of the Crane, but I love Joan He's covers on like every single book. They are so beyond stunning that I'm like, it's okay if it's not like great. I love the cover, right? It's fine. This is an epic YA fantasy about found family, rivals, and identity. This is inspired by Three Kingdoms, one of the 4 classics of Chinese literature. This is definitely one that I'm interested in. I kind of want to read more of Joan He, but I'm also not as interested in their previous work, so I kind of just want to like skip to this one, you know? But it's also not like top of my list. Like if I was, out of all of these books, if I wasn't going to read one, this one I wouldn't be that upset about not reading, you know? The next book is coming out November 1st. I don't know how to say the title. The Cloisters? Is that right? I don't know. This is another mystery thriller, dark academia. This seems to be my theme of books I'm interested in, but this is The Secret History meets Ninth House in the sinister, atmospheric novel following a circle of researchers as they uncover a mysterious deck of tarot cards and shocking secrets in New York's famed Met Cloisters. When Anne Stillwell arrives in New York City, she expects to spend her summer working as a curator associate at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Instead, she finds herself assigned the Cloisters, a Gothic museum and garden renowned for its medieval art collection and its group of enigmatic researchers studying the history of divination. Desperate to escape her painful past, Anne is happy to indulge the researchers' more outlandish theories about the history of fortune-telling, but what begins as academic curiosity quickly turns into obsession when Anne discovers a hidden 15th century deck of tarot cards that might hold the key to predicting the future. When the dangerous game of power, seduction, and ambition at the Cloisters turns deadly, Anne becomes locked in a race for answers as the line between the arcane and the modern blurs. Yes. I don't love this cover, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's the American cover. I don't know if the UK cover will be different. I kind of hope so because I don't love the cover. This next one also comes out November 1st and it's titled The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. I just really like these kind of covers. It kind of reminds me of a Magic Steeped in Poisons cover, just like the bright, wispy, magical element of it I'm kind of into. Love and duty collide in this richly imagined atmospheric young adult debut about a witch whose dark powers put her at a center of a brewing war between the only family she's ever known and the enemy who makes her question everything. So this is a sapphic fantasy. Need I say more? Need I say more? And this final book comes out December 6th. It's The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford. I love this style of cover. I just think they're so pretty. I don't know, something about it really intrigues me. Lilo has spent her entire life on Endla, coexisting with the bloodthirsty forest and respecting the poisonous lake that protects her island from outsiders who seek to destroy it. But as much as Lilo cares for her community, she struggles to accept that her younger brother will be exiled by his next birthday unless he gains the magic of enchanted song so vital to Endla. Ooh. When Lilo sees a younger outsider on the verge of drowning in the lake, she knows exactly what she's supposed to do. But in the moment, that will change everything. Lilo betrays her family, her best friend, and Endla by making an unthinkable choice. Discovery could lead to devastating consequences for both Lilo and the outsider Jaren. But as they grow closer, Lilo realizes that not all danger comes from beyond the lake, and they can only survive if Lilo is willing to question the very fabric of her society, her people, and herself. Into it, I'm into it. Obviously, I'm into it. This is gonna, I think, be a lot more fantasy, romance heavy, you know? But, you know, I'm kind of here for that. I'm into it. I'm excited for so many of these books. Excited for so many more than these books. I'm so... it's impossible to read everything that I want to read because I want to read so many backlist books, and then I also want to read all the upcoming books, and the list just never ends. But that is going to be it for this video today. Thank you guys for watching. Are there any 2022 releases that I missed that you are excited for that I should maybe keep on my radar and keep an eye out for reviews? Let me know in the comments if you would like to. If not, just tell me anything. Tell me about your day. How's your day going? If you want to see more of me, I try to post every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. It's a lot now that I have a puppy, but it's still, like, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Puppy introduction, I think that makes more sense. It will be on my Thursday vlog. So excited for you guys to meet him. He's something, though. But that is it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys so soon. Bye!